Ever heard of Nemuri Mura, the sleeping village? It's a place spoken of only in whispers, a ghost story some say is all too real. Deep in the mountains of Japan, swallowed by a forest that doesn't seem to follow the rules of nature, lies a village lost to time. They say a thick, unnatural fog blankets it year-round, a mist so dense it muffles sound and plays tricks on your mind. This is the story of three urban explorers, Kenji, Yumi, and Daiki, who went looking for a legend and found something far worse. Their journey began as a thrill-seeking adventure. They'd heard the tales online. Read the cryptic forum posts about a village where everyone simply fell asleep and never woke up. Armed with cameras and a healthy dose of skepticism, they found the overgrown path exactly where the old maps suggested it would be. The air grew cold the deeper they went, the sunlight struggling to pierce the canopy above. Then, they saw it. A simple wooden sign, weathered and covered in moss, with faded kanji that read, Nemuri Mura. Beyond it, the world dissolved into a wall of gray fog. Stepping into the fog was like entering another world. The sounds of the forest behind them vanished, replaced by an oppressive silence. The first house they saw was a traditional minka, its wooden frame slumped with age. The shoshi screen door was slid just a few inches open, a dark, silent invitation. Peeking inside, they saw a scene frozen in time, a half-eaten meal on a low table, chopsticks resting as if just set down. But the house was empty. Dust coated every surface, thick and undisturbed. It felt like the occupants had just vanished. As they moved deeper into the village, a sense of unease began to creep in. Every house was the same, doors ajar, windows shattered, interiors preserved in a state of sudden abandonment. It was unsettling, but it wasn't the most disturbing part. The truly terrifying discovery was made in the village square. There, scattered around a stone well, were people, or what looked like people. An old woman sat on a bench, her head tilted back, her mouth slightly open, as if in a deep slumber. A man leaned against the well, his eyes closed, a peaceful expression on his face. A child lay on the ground, curled up with a toy drum beside her. They were all sleeping. At first, the explorers thought it was some kind of elaborate, macabre art installation. Daiki, the bravest of the three, reached out to touch the old woman's shoulder. His hand recoiled instantly. She wasn't a statue. Her skin was cold, but it felt like skin. He gently shook her. "Hello, are you okay?" Nothing. No response. Her breathing was so shallow, it was almost non-existent. They were all like that. Villagers, caught in an eternal, unnatural sleep, scattered throughout their home, as if they had simply dropped where they stood. They weren't dead, not in the way we understand it. They were just asleep. Panic began to set in. This wasn't a game anymore. Yumi, who had been filming everything, lowered her camera. "We need to leave," she whispered, her voice trembling. "Now." But as they turned to go, they realized something was wrong. The path they had come in on was gone. In its place was just another row of silent, sleeping houses, shrouded in the same dense fog. They tried another direction, then another. Every street, every alleyway, just looped back on itself. It was like the village was a maze, rearranging itself around them, refusing to let them go. The silence was broken by a new sound, a faint whisper, carried on the wind. It was formless at first, like the rustling of leaves, but as they listened, it started to sound like words, a language they couldn't understand, a soft hypnotic chant that seemed to come from everywhere at once. The air grew heavier, pressing in on them. Yumi noticed something through her camera lens that she hadn't seen with her own eyes. The shadows weren't behaving. The shadow of a telephone pole seemed to stretch and twist, elongating unnaturally. The shadow of a tree branch looked like a long, grasping arm. The village itself felt alive, watching them, breathing around them. The whispers grew louder, more insistent. They felt a strange drowsiness begin to settle over them, a heavy-lidded exhaustion that had nothing to do with their hike. Their thoughts became foggy, their movements sluggish. Kenji fought against it. "Don't listen," he urged. his voice strained. "Don't fall asleep. Whatever you do, don't fall asleep here." But it was a losing battle. The hypnotic chanting seemed to pull at their consciousness, promising a deep, peaceful rest. Daiki stumbled, leaning against the wall of a house, his eyes fluttering shut. Yumi cried out his name, but her own legs felt like lead. She felt an overwhelming urge to just lie down on the mossy ground and close her eyes. Just for a minute. The village was coaxing them, lulling them into its eternal slumber. With the last of her strength, Yumi raised her camera one more time. She pointed it down a narrow alleyway, trying to find a way out, any way out. The fog swirled, and for a moment, it parted. Standing there was the little girl she had seen earlier by the well, the one with the toy drum. But she wasn't sleeping anymore. She was standing perfectly still, staring directly into the camera. Her eyes were wide open, but they were milky and unfocused, like a doll's eyes. They held no life, no recognition, just a vacant, chilling stillness. She didn't blink. She didn't move. She just stared. And as Yumi zoomed in on that empty, horrifying gaze, the girl's mouth opened, and a single, clear whisper came from her lips, a word that cut through the chanting. Nemuri, sleep. The fog rushed in, enveloping the girl, the alley, everything. The camera feed filled with static, then cut to black. The footage was recovered from a camera found a year later on the outskirts of the forest, miles from where Nemuri Mura was said to be. Of the three explorers, Kenji, Yumi, and Daiki, no trace was ever found. They say if you listen closely on a quiet night, you can still hear the whispers from the sleeping village, calling new visitors to come and rest forever. Thank you for joining me on this chilling journey into the lore of Nemuri Mura. If you enjoy diving into dark legends and mysterious tales like this one, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more. Let me know in the comments what legend you want me to explore next. Stay safe out there, and don't go chasing whispers in the fog.